she gave US script. Podcast guests leaks secret texts with Meg accused her of turning off their mics. Meghan Markle has been called out by a commentator for talking more than her guest in her new podcast. The first episode of Archetypes was released on Spotify earlier this week with the Duchess of Sussex joined by close friend and tennis player Serena Williams. Royal commentator Sally Ottens, Professor Emeritus of Business Administration at the University of Illinois, claimed that Meghan talked more than her guest in the long-awaited podcast. The author of Royal Fever also questioned the impact of the podcast on Meghan's brand as she and Prince Harry pursue new lives in the US after quitting royal duties. The royal marketing expert told Express.co.uk, "My overall comment is that as the host of the podcast, it was interesting that she talked more than her guest Serena Williams, who clearly has interesting stories of her own to tell. I'm not sure what the target audience is, or if this is going to contribute much to the building of Meghan's own brand, if a Meghan brand has any appeal with no royal luster to support it." Meghan's podcast aims to investigate, dissect and subvert the labels that try to hold women back. In the first episode, she and Serena discussed the double standards women face when they are labeled ambitious. Opening up on her own experience, Meghan said, "I don't remember ever personally feeling the negative connotation behind the word ambitious until I started dating my now husband." Elsewhere in the episode, the Duchess told how her young son Archie narrowly escaped a fire in his bedroom where he was supposed to be sleeping during the Sussexes' tour of South Africa in 2019. Meghan said, "We came back. And, of course, as a mother, you go, oh, my God, what? Everyone's in tears, everyone's shaken. And what do we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement?" I said, "This doesn't make any sense." Meanwhile, Serena revealed Harry helped her with her decision to retire from tennis. Meghan, who quit the monarchy in 2020, replied, I think both of us, or the three of us, really know that sometimes the right decision isn't the easiest decision. It takes a lot of courage, I think, to stop something in many ways than to keep going sometimes." The next Archetypes podcast, part of the Sussexes' multi-million-pound deal with Spotify, will feature singer Mariah Carey. It comes as Meghan and Harry are set to return to Britain next month to carry out charity visits. Meanwhile, speculation is high over when the Duke's tell-all book, which was due out later this year, will be released amid reports it has been pushed back as he agonizes over whether to include truth bombs. The couple are living in California with their two children Archie and Lilibet after quitting the monarchy in March 2020. Yesterday, Meghan Markle appeared to be a smart lady as she stayed mum about royal family in new episode of Archetypes podcast. The Duchess of Sussex explores Dragon Lady stereotype with Lisa Ling and Margaret Cho in delayed podcast. She seemed reluctant to hurl insults at her royal relatives. She took on Hollywood in her first Archetypes podcast on Spotify after a 4-week break following the Queen's death, calling out Austin Powers and Kill Bill for presenting caricatures of Asian women as over-sexualized or aggressive. Meghan Markle began her latest episode by talking about her experience of growing up in Los Angeles, which was full of culture that you could see, feel, hear and taste on a daily basis, and said she had a real love of getting to know other cultures. Prince Harry's wife's latest move suggests she does not want to add salt to the royal family's injury as they have just ended their mourning period following Queen Elizabeth's death.